Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. On this episode of the DNA Sports Recap, let's go ahead and give our top 5 way too early predictions on the ACC.
And let's talk about the newest additions to the University of Utah football team.
In the NHL, let's talk about our Utah Hockey Club.
And let's wrap up this week in Major League Baseball.
All that and more. My name is Darren, that is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
Doing good, buddy. It's been an eventful week in Utah sports and sports all around.
Yes, it definitely has. Before we talk about the content, though, I want to remind you folks that we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are so close, folks. We are 120 subscribers away from this channel being monetized. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy this content, we are giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you want to be eligible for that, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and again, don't forget to smash that like button for your boy AJ over here.
Absolutely. And just so you guys know, 5 subscribers, $100 each. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So before we get into content, pre-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
Oh man, it's been a while since we had Darkrai.
So good though.
I like it. Unless it's YouTube algorithm asking, it's apple juice. But for everybody else, it's basically Hayden Darkrai.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
Yeah, it's really good.
Give it a try. # not sponsored.
Yeah, # not sponsored. So for sure. Before we get into the content here, though, I would like to kind of bounce something off you, though.
Okay, I'm ready.
And I would like to ask you a question. You and I have been doing this show for a little over a year now, and we're getting so close to being monetized. So basically, we're getting to the point now where this channel is, getting some traction, specifically everybody listening on the podcast, everybody watching on YouTube. We really appreciate it. Thank you for continuing your support. What has been the biggest surprise moment to you in the year and a half we've been doing the show so far?
And you're talking like just running a YouTube channel, huh?
Well, just like anything we covered that you're like, wow, I did not expect that.
Okay. So
not necessarily like the fact that we've, that this is what we're doing now, but like everything we covered, what jumps out at you that you're like, I just didn't see that coming?
The biggest surprise story. I mean, I think the biggest one was probably Shohei to the Dodgers.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good one.
That one was like, because we covered that one extensively.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of where's Shohei going to be. You know what I mean? Like we were even covering the plane flights, this place, that place.
Yeah.
And then when he finally signed with the Dodgers and apologized and made it super public, it was just like, he really ended up with LA?
Yeah, well, that's where he was going to be in the whole. Yeah, if you knew Shohei Ohtani when he was originally coming, that's where he wanted to be in the first place because the Japanese history.
Right.
But there was no DH. Now there is a DH. You're thinking, okay, well, like, why was Toronto a finalist? In hindsight, you're like, why was that even a thing?
Yeah, exactly.
But that definitely was. I got to tell you, the thing that jumps out to me as the biggest surprise to me that I have now, and never in my life have I ever done this, watched 2 women's NCAA basketball tournaments.
We actually watched a game together.
And I've covered, and not on top of that, I've actually watched, I never thought this was going to ever happen in my life, that I've actually watched a WNBA preseason game.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I watched Caitlin Clark's.
Who are you?
Indiana, was it
Who are you, Darren?
Yeah. I think she scored like 26 points, like just 29 points, 26 points, something like that.
She's changing the whole league, dude. And did you see Angel Reese? Angel Reese went into New York and absolutely killed it too. She had 20-something points. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. She was, she had like this saying that she posted on like Instagram, and it was like, I went to New York Met Gala and killed it there. And then I got on the court in New York and killed it there too.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. To me, that's the biggest surprise. I never thought in a million years that I would cover 2 women's March Madness tournaments and also watch a WNBA preseason game or watch the WNBA draft that closely.
Well, just, I have a WNBA subscription. So if you want to log in, I'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at a few games, but yeah, I mean, dude, there's parts of this that I definitely want to get into, and now's not the time to talk about it, but I definitely want to talk about the WNBA, and cover a little bit more intently because there's a lot more to go on that. First, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go, as you say, let's go local. And let's first start with, actually, do you want to start with the ACC or do you want to start with Utah? I got Utah first in my notes. Which way do you want to
go? Let's go ACC first.
Okay.
That way it follows my notes correctly.
Okay. I can scroll up and down with
yeah, that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I don't have to touch my screen for mine to scroll up and down.
Yeah, and mine I do. So.
All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with our way too early ACC predictions. Now, again, what we're doing is we're just ranking the top five teams that we think are going to be at the top at the end of the year for each conference. We did one on the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12 so far.
Make sure you guys check out those videos. They're all excellent, of course. You guys are going to love them.
Absolutely. The link will be in the description below.
Yep.
So be sure to check those out.
And make sure you smash that subscribe button because we got more college football content coming.
Absolutely. Okay. So with that all said, let's go ahead and get started with our top 5. And let's start with number 5. Who do you got number 5 and why? Go.
All right. Number 5, I got NC State.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I got NC State. I think head coach Dave Doran, he's really got this program heading in the right direction. I mean, they've actually been consistently winning footballs these last couple of seasons. Quarterback Grayson McCall, wide receiver Kevin Conception, and running back Jordan Waters. These guys are a great, fantastic. I mean, they're just a great offensive trio. I could definitely see these guys winning 8 to 9 games this year.
Nice. I have them. I had them in my rankings as well, but they're definitely not number 5. I have number 5 as Miami.
You have Miami at 5?
I have Miami at 5.
Okay.
So they are 7-6 last season. They finished 7-6 last season. I got them finishing 9-3 this year. They're adding Kevin Ward, which was one of the top quarterbacks available at the portal this year. However, I don't see that being, again, that is a transfer into a new team, new conference,
a whole new system too.
Whole new system. Now they do have those 3 4-star wideouts they also signed this year.
Yep.
So that's why they're in my top 5.
Yep.
But outside of that, I don't see. I think Miami is going to be talented, but I think with those reasons, I think I got them at 5. A couple of things I looked at, they were a 3-way tie, and really just kind of the change of the guard there and all that different players coming in from the transfer portal. I think out of the 3-way tie that I see, I have them ranked as 5.
Perfect.
All right.
Number 4, I have Duke.
You have Duke. Okay.
I have Duke at number 4.
Nice.
So former head coach Mike Elko, he's gone. He took some of his staff to Texas A&M. But these guys really landed a good quarterback in Malik Murphy, the Texas transfer.
Right.
The kid can really play football. I think head coach Manny Diaz probably gets him. I think they just kind of roll. I don't think they're really going to miss a beat. And I think you'll have these guys ready and tuned up in the ACC.
Nice. For number 4, I have NC State. I have them going 9-3. They have quarterback Grayson McCall, like you mentioned before, wide receiver Kevin Concepcion, and then running back Jordan Waters. That is kind of like a triple threat there on the offensive side there. Yep. They just got each position solidified with, a potential All-American in those positions, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I think is really cool. I do have them losing to Duke, Clemson, and Tennessee. I don't know why. I just don't like them against Duke. I think Duke has got a chance to beat them. So that's why I think that they're going to fall they fall to number 4 for me. But yeah, I got 4, NC State.
All right. Number 3, I have Miami.
Okay. I like it.
I got Miami a little higher than you had them.
I like it.
I kind of think Mario Cristobal is going to be fighting for his life this season.
Okay.
And I think it's going to benefit him because he didn't have a great season last year. And Mario Cristobal has a reputation of being a fantastic head coach. He did a great job at Oregon, obviously won him the job at Miami.
Right.
And I think that fighting attitude is exactly what his players are going to have. I think they're going to go out there. They're going to be like you'd mentioned before in Miami. They got a bunch of 4-star wide receivers. The Mario Cristobal defense is always going to be tough. They reloaded on defense out of the transfer portal. I don't see them taking down Florida State, and that's going to be a real tough game for them. But I think they're going to have a really strong season this year.
No, I agree. I think they're going to have a good year. And I just, with all the change, though, I just don't see them improving that much over that 7-6 they had last year.
Yeah.
But I do like where you're coming out from because they do have if they've been playing together, I would probably have them. If they've been playing together for a year or two, this squad, I'd probably have them. I'd have them at the top of the conference easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So with number 3, I have Louisville.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I got Louisville. So They had one of the best, if not the best, transfer portal rankings in the conference as far as their ratings in there. That's the first year, their first year underneath Jeff Boehm as head coach. He won 10 games and made to the ACC title game. So, there's nothing, you can't argue with that, right?
Absolutely.
And then they also, they got the Texas Tech transfer, that Tyler Shaw kid. Is that how you say Shaw or Show?
I think it's Show.
I think I say that wrong every time I say it, but yeah, Tyler Show. He has a QB rating of 130.4. I got this team going 9-3 with losses to Clemson, Notre Dame, and Kentucky, but I got them 3. Louisville.
I like that. I don't have Louisville in my top 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the main things why like these 3 options, right? Like I have 3, 4, and 5. We're all kind of like in a tie when I looked at some national, some of the national options when it comes to ranking. The reason why I'm putting Louisville so high is because of the fact they were in the title game last year. The same head coach that was in the title game last year.
They didn't make a whole lot of change.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of turnover there. They had one of the best transfer portals, best transfer rankings of the year, and they have a lot of decent talent coming back. So I just like Louisville at 3 for that.
Okay, number 2, I have Florida State, and all of you Florida State fans, I'm ready for it. Okay, I get it. They were snubbed. I was all aboard on Florida State last year. I think they should have made the college football playoff with the undefeated season. I get it both ways. We talked about it.
Pause.
I have them too.
Sorry.
Okay, I have them at 2. These guys absolutely reloaded after sending a bunch of players to the NFL draft. They have the number 4 transfer class, the number 10 recruiting class. They picked up 7 4-star recruits from the SEC, including 5 of those players from Bama. The reason that I don't rank them number 1, and the biggest reason is DJU. DJ Ukulele. I'll put his name on the screen. I don't know how you actually say it. I watched a lot of Pac-12 football last year, and at Oregon State, I'm not impressed with this guy.
Yeah.
Last year with Oregon State, it's a run heavy offense, and when they had to rely on him to get the ball up and down the field, it didn't end well for them. Right? No. I don't know if he's that guy. Stepping in and trying to fill the shoes of Jordan Travis is going to be a tough task. That dude could ball. I don't know if DJU's got it. And that's the reason I got him at 2.
Gotcha. I have Florida State number 2.
Oh, you do too?
Yeah. So Florida State number 2, pretty much for all the same reasons you said. Like you literally read my notes line for line there, so I don't really have any much to add on that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so pretty much I have the same thing there. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go with my number 1 first, because
Absolutely.
something tells me that it's going to be very similar to your number 1. So I'll do the number 1 first. I have Clemson finishing first in the conference.
Excellent.
They finished last year on a 5-game winning streak. Coach Sweeney is going to need the quarterback play to improve. Cade Klubnik.
Yep.
Klubnik. They're going to need he's going to need some improvements there, but he does have a 5-star receiver, TJ Moore, and top 100 prospect, 4-star prospect in Bryant Wesco, and tight end Christian Benaker. Is that how you'd say that?
Yeah, Benaker.
Why am I saying everything wrong today? Benaker. Anyway, so yeah, he's but basically, I think he's in a good spot to do that because he's got a lot of talent around him for that. We also have the newcomer linebacker who's a 5-star recruit on the defensive end. I really like the looks of this team. I got them going 11-1 with their only loss being to Georgia.
Oh, nice. Yep, I got number 1 as Clemson as well.
Okay.
Yep. So, you absolutely nailed it. The big thing is Dabo Sweeney he's been coaching this team. He's, they've had some rough years under Dabo, and obviously they've won some national championships under him. So he's coached them from the bottom all the way back up to the top. Like you mentioned, quarterback Cade Klubnik. This kid was a Texas Gatorade Player of the Year.
Right.
This kid can play. He does have to make some steps this year for these guys to really push and be the top seed in the ACC, but there's a lot of talent around Clemson. They are going to be a good football team this year, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I do have them beating Florida State, and if they do that, I think they're the top seed in the ACC.
Yeah, I think that's really going to be my big pieces. That they are beating Florida State. I have them too because their only loss is to Georgia. So I think that's really what's separating 1 and 2 there.
Yep.
No slight to Florida State fans, but that's just I don't know. I just think between those two, that's who's
I
gonna
worry
win.
about DJU for Florida State, to be completely
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah,
I just watched him too much last year, and Clemson has a ridiculous defense. You know what I mean? Like they're up to, I just don't know. I don't see him taking him down. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. There is our top 5 way too early predictions on the ACC, our predictions for who's going to finish in the top 5 of that conference. I did not even bother to check to see what we look like against ESPN or CBS Sports Radio. That's tough.
I did not. Yeah.
So, hopefully ACC fans aren't nearly as upset as Big Ten fans are.
Or SEC fans, because we screwed that one up too, apparently.
Oh, did we really?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were. I'd have to say out of the 3, I think the Big Ten is definitely going to be the ones that are,
The Big Ten. Well, we're still getting comments on the Big Ten videos.
Exactly. Thanks for watching the video, by the way.
We appreciate
it. I don't know. The really funny thing about these videos is I don't think people realize that we are a couple of Utah boys, Pac-12 boys, and we're researching and learning about a conference for the first time for these shows. And the whole purpose of it is to get that conversation back and forth.
Yeah.
For them to give us their opinion. So we can formulate, and when we get closer to the season, we take in that criticism and we build a new top 5.
Yeah, we absolutely love conversing with you guys. Tell us what you think. Tell us why your team's the best. Tell us why what players. Hey, we're not going to mention every single player on the team. And if you want to talk Utah football, I can tell you top to bottom roster why the Utes are going to be great this year, right?
Yeah.
Do that with your guys' teams. We appreciate the feedback.
We love it, guys.
We love it.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. It's all good fun, man. I mean, they called me high. They called me.
I mean, there was more comments about this is why you don't do drugs on that one.
This
ever
guy on the left, Darren, by the way. But anyway, that was good fun. Good fun. I love it. Keep it coming, guys.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to more about college football, which would be the latest Big 12 edition, which is the Utah Utes.
Go Utes.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about Utah football.
Yep. And especially, I mean, to lead into Utah football, like the big thing is the Utes just keep making moves in the transfer portal, man.
Yeah.
They just keep breaking them in.
Yeah. Okay. Let's first talk about the former Ute running Ute commit, former BYU and Baylor basketball player that is now committed to the Utes again. However, this time it's going to be for Coach Witt's football team instead of the basketball team. Let's talk about this young man.
Yep. Kaylor Lohner. Lohner? I think it might be Lohner. Caleb Lohner.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. So, I mean, this pickup's absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah.
The Utes found a 6'8" basketball player that played 2 seasons at BYU, 2 seasons at Baylor, and recruited him to play tight end.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, hey, come on, man. We got you.
6'8", 235 pounds. You watch this guy play, and you're like, dude, this guy is massive.
Yeah. He's a big dude. Big dude. And I mean, I just want to say the Utes have had success with players switching sports. You know what I mean? The big difference is usually it's them converting rugby players to football players.
Yeah, which isn't a huge
not as big. And usually it's converting rugby kickers to football punters.
Right. Yeah, which this is a little different for sure. So did you hear on the ESPN 700 when they mentioned that Craig Smith might be asking him to kind of fill out his roster a bit this year as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Can you see?
And he actually says in his post that he might have an opportunity to hit the hardwood as well.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Dude,
yeah.
The best part is since he is a scholarship player for Utah football, he does not affect the Utah basketball roster.
Ooh, that's a good point. That gives him an extra scholarship to give away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say a statement on Twitter or the X, depending on which camp you fall into. You praise the almighty what's his name? Elon. You call it X, but if you're like everybody else, normal people, you call it Twitter still.
Yeah.
I'm very excited and grateful to announce my commitment to play football at the University of Utah. This presents a unique opportunity to potentially contribute on the court as well. I look forward to embracing the challenge and privilege to represent Utes with pride. Lona wrote on
love it
on the X there.
So I'm a little bit concerned with this guy.
Okay.
And it's mostly just because the Utes tight end room is absolutely already loaded. We're going to get Brent Keithy back. We still got Landon King, who's a big target. Miki Suguturaga, and I mean he's played a bunch of good seasons for the Utes, and then also the huge transfer addition from UCLA, Carson Ryan.
Yeah,
we've got a ton of tight end talent. These guys are all these guys have all been playing college football a really long time.
Yeah,
I find it hard to believe that a basketball player jumping in, but he's clearly shown something
got
to
some
get
tangibles.
a, you know what I mean? Like he's clearly shown something to get a
Scholarship.
scholarship.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I'm excited, man. I mean, there
yeah.
are tons of weapons out there. I mean, and we got a couple more to talk about. So
I do see him playing somewhere other. I mean, you know how Whittingham likes to, and how they like to handle that offense. You had a Brad Keefe like playing as a tight end, but would play out as like sometimes would
yeah,
be,
step out and play wide.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
play in the slot. Like he plays all kinds of crazy spots.
yeah. So I mean, this guy's just got a big body dude who can run, who can
Yeah.
move. I just see them not taking advantage of that. So
Yeah.
but let's go ahead and move on to a former 5-star quarterback recruit. Why don't you talk about our newest addition in Sam Hard? Is that how you say
Heward?
it? Heward.
I think it's Heward.
Dude, I suck at these pronunciations. I probably should look up pronunciations.
Yeah, you're good. So Sam Heward, he's transferring
You're good.
from
Shut up,
he's transferring from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a top ranked quarterback in the 2021 class.
Mm-hmm.
He originally signed with Washington. He spent 2 seasons there as a backup. They actually made a coaching change in the middle of his tenure. In 2022, he obviously backed up Michael Penix Jr.
Right.
He does still have 2 years of eligibility left. So that
Right.
was something that I wasn't sure. We had texted back and forth the other day. But 2 years of eligibility is huge.
Right.
Because that means he gets a whole year under Cam. And I actually really like the fact that he has said in multiple interviews, he loves the ability to have a chance to learn from Cam in a tough quarterback room. So I'm just hoping that he just steps up, you know what I mean? And he's ready to go into it. He gets the playbook down. This does get you into another one of those situations where, Utah has stepped up their quarterback room one more time, right? Like now we've got Brandon Rose, who thought he was the future of Utah football as a quarterback. And then Isaac Wilson shows he's the future quarterback. And now we got Sam Heward, who is maybe the potential future quarterback of Utah football.
Right.
Cam's only got 1 more year left. So it'll be a battle next year.
Yeah. Well, one thing we've learned, if last year taught us anything, is you can never have too much quarterback depth.
No,
So
you're absolutely right.
So I think that's a good thing there. And you know me, I'm never one to get overexcited about any new player joining in a team unless it's Shohei Ohtani. But I can't help but hang on that first part there. Former 5-star quarterback.
Yep.
Sam Heward.
Yep.
So how is he ranking now? What was his quarterback ranking at Cal Poly?
It was like 89.0. He's coming over as a 3-star college quarterback.
Okay.
So an average college quarterback.
Yeah. Which gives 2 years eligibility. I agree with you. I think it's basically setting up for his last year of eligibility being one where he
can fight for a starting spot in the Big 12 conference.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. I think that's exactly what he was going with on that too.
Yep.
So I don't think he liked playing the backup role, in a Power 5 conference. So he goes to the Cal Poly, FCS school to basically get a chance to really play, right?
Yeah, and some of the reason he went there is it was like a coach. One of the coaches that coached at San Luis at Cal Poly one of the coaches that coached there was like one that he was kind of familiar with, and I think that's kind of how he ended up there. Yeah,
so his 2023 seasons, he had 185 completions on 304 attempts, 2,205 yards, averaged 7.3 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So, not great, not bad.
Right.
So I kind of like it. I like the addition. Again, 6'2", 200-pound sophomore, a couple of years of eligibility. So yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll see how he goes. But I'm optimistic about it. I think it's a perfect move for them to add depth to that position. Because again, with Cam being this is last year, you don't want to just automatically hand it over to Isaac Wilson and say, here you go. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just hope you can find something in the transfer portal. You want to have competition in that room.
Yep. And we needed a backup with some experience because Brandon Rose has played 0 college football games.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why that is.
So, you know what I mean? Like you've got to have somebody that's actually played in a college football game. And because of that, I do see Sam potentially winning that backup role.
Yeah. Let's stay healthy, Rose. Let's stay healthy, Rose, this year, huh?
Yeah,
let's get to the start of the season this year. Let's start there. But yeah, absolutely love it, man. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to was it fall camp? It's really in August they start going into fall camp. So I don't know.
Yeah, beginning of August.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is it called fall camp or is it
it's still fall camp? Yeah.
Yeah, because technically August isn't fall, but that's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's summer camp.
It's good. I like it. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Are you excited about this the recent additions to the University of Utah football team? Our Utes there as they continue to reload talent as they go into their first year in Big 12 play. It's really hard to remember that this is their first year going into this.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
It is really crazy.
It seems like we just did this.
And they're actually favored for this. It's insane.
Yeah.
They're one of the favorites for the conference. So, yeah, let us know in the comments. What do you think, folks? Let us know. Are you excited about these guys? Does it mean something? Does it mean everything? Does it mean nothing? Let us know for sure. Keep in mind, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that number, we will be giving $500 away to our subscribers. Each subscriber is going to earn $100 from us. 5 subscribers are going to walk away with some of our money there when we hit monetization. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And again, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy this content.
Absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, make sure you know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio. Do I need to do that right now?
I don't think we do. I think we'll just save that to the end.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll save that to the end. Are we going to leave this all in blue?
No, we're going to change it.
Yeah. You got to love, dude.
That way I know where to cut it.
For those people on podcast there, he just did the thumbs up thing to make the fireworks go off. So we had to, jeez.
You're welcome, Darren.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we don't ever give a love to our podcast listeners, by the way.
Hey, podcast listeners, we appreciate you guys.
We really appreciate you guys. If you give,
and you guys are really showing up lately, too. Our podcasts have been getting quite a few episodes.
Yeah. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a review for us, that would be great. Give us a rating review. We'd love to hear from you.
But keep listening. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely love it. So, okay. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to, let's pick to the NHL.
Let's do it.
Also a thing that's crazy. We're now covering hockey. I didn't think that was going to happen the first year.
That was almost my craziest thing.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
We do need to change this color though.
Yeah.
Middle button.
Something about going change to red. We're no longer talking about the Utes. Just that felt weird.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about your Utah Hockey Club, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's
go Utah Hockey Club.
That's right. Go Utah Hockey Club. Whatever it's going to be. Did you fill out your Qualtrics review survey, by the way?
I have not yet. I'm still torn on what I want the team name to be.
Yeah, there's you get to pick 4, and now there's 20 names in there. Which, by the way,
20 names.
By the way, the new one that I saw in there that I actually thought wasn't bad was the Swarm.
I kind of like the Swarm.
Yeah, you wouldn't be using the name Utah in that. You're like, oh, we got the LA Kings coming into Salt Lake City to battle the Swarm. They're coming into the Swarm. They're coming into the. Kind of like it. Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Yeah.
I also do like that the Yeti isn't pluralized. I thought that's terrible. The Utah Yetis. I think that's terrible. Utah Yeti. That's Utah Yeti. It sounds good.
Yeah. There's one Yeti.
Just one Yeti.
Not multiple Yetis, because we all know Yetis are real.
Yeah.
There's only one of them.
Yeah. All the cryptozoologists out there, let us know. But yeah, so let's go ahead and first talk about that. Now let's first talk about the draft lottery went down. It seems like this team's draft luck and the Utah's draft luck continues, where we didn't move up in the draft at all. We held our position at 6. So
yes,
that's exactly what happened. And
make sure you check out our video from last week where we talk about some of the potential picks at number 6. Be a video right there.
Yeah, so we're not going to dive into that because we already kind of covered that last week. But let us know in the comments down below, folks, if you watch that video, if you disagree with us, if you think we should pick somebody else on that. But yeah, I think we're pretty solid on those picks. I think we're pretty well taken care of on that. What I'd actually like to do is I'd actually like to talk about some of the details that have come out about the team more recently, kind of more logistically. Where do you want to start? You want to start about the training facility?
Absolutely, dude. This training facility idea is crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, all of a sudden now the shops at Southtown are now going to have a full-on hockey training facility there.
So that's the thing is we don't actually know what it's going to look like.
No, because the mall's still going to stay there.
Is the mall going to stay there?
Yeah.
Or are they going to convert some of the mall to it? Because they talk about the training facility being 111 acres.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, if you look at the map there where Southtown is, where the mall is.
Yeah.
And you have the I think it's Macy's or JCPenney building that's kind of farther to the south. But you forget there used to be that Barnes and Noble and all those Brookstone buildings that are to the north there.
Oh yeah.
So there's that whole area by the clock tower for the Draper clock tower or whatever it is.
Those aren't there anymore.
There's that whole area to the north they can do. So they could keep the main mall section.
Yeah, that's right.
And then do whatever they want with all that. And they also got the climbing gym and everything, momentum and all that stuff over on that side. So I think, and there's plenty of parking. There's
way more.
Full.
There's way more parking there than will ever be needed. That mall's not even that busy anymore.
No, you remember Valley Fair Mall? How big that parking lot used to be before they
before they added to it, and now it's way too small. You can't ever find a parking spot unless you go onto the north side of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's insane.
it's crazy.
And you never want to park on the north side of that mall.
No, you don't.
Unless you want your car broken into,
Well, it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
it's fine.
We love you, West Valley. You guys are good. You guys are cool.
Get it.
But yeah, so I think that's insane, man. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what the rendering is, but
just
SCG,
know,
man.
As soon as we get the rendering, we'll get a video. We'll put it up. You guys check it out. We want your opinions. If you hear about anything, tag us in comments. We want to hear about it.
Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. I mean, obviously they're going to be doing something out there. I think it's very interesting that their facility is going to be so far away from downtown for their training facility.
I think this is by design. 100%.
Really try to spread out there.
I think absolutely. I think you don't want a bunch of, because the fact is like you're right near the Cottonwood area where a lot of the Jazz players and stuff live anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like up off 106 and up in 100. Like, I think that's a nicer area for the players to kind of live and be close to practice facilities. And then you just, head the other direction, like for games. I don't know. I mean, Sandy's a beautiful area.
Yeah, I'll definitely cover. Oh yeah. So it's Sandy's town hall that's down there. I'm thinking Draper. Sorry, Sandy. Draper's a little bit farther south, but yeah, Sandy's town hall and all that stuff, that new clock tower and everything.
Yep.
Between there and the Brookstone, like all those.
Yeah, where the Target is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Area. So I think that's probably where it's all going to go. Let us know what you guys think there. I do have kind of more of a conspiracy theory on the reason why the facility is so far away from downtown, with the Jazz facility being so much closer. At the Zion Basketball Center, Zions Bank Basketball Center. But we'll get into that a little later because we definitely need to cover the other piece here.
Okay.
So
but just to go into that, just to step back on the training facility real quick.
Okay.
There is going to be 2 rinks there.
Yep.
They are going to be available for public use. And there's also going to be an NHL team store at the practice training facility.
Yes, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I thought
very
that was
cool.
Very awesome. The rinks are going to be open to the public. That way they have one that's ready.
For youth hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because that was a big component for why everybody thought Utah wasn't going to get an expansion team, because there's like literally no ice out here.
Yeah.
Like there's not very many rinks out here.
Kearns. I mean, that's the only
that's probably where they're going to have to practice for now.
I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. So
that's the only ice rink available.
Yeah. Anywhere close to the facility there to downtown anyway. But I like it. I think it's great. They're having it open to the public. And again, I think, just SCG buying up some property, man. And I'll get into why I think I think it's interesting where the location is a little bit later.
Yeah. By design.
Yeah. I think it's very much
absolutely
by design. So we want to pivot on over to the recent stuff that just came out. So secondly, it was reported by Salt Lake Tribune that SCG's application details have come out regarding what they plan on doing for the downtown area. Do you want to break this down or?
Oh, you go into it, man.
Okay. So we now know that SCG, we all know that we talked about this in a previous video. Be sure you check it out. Link will be in the comment down below. That Utah was eager to approve $900 million in tax revenue to renovate the Delta Center or build a new arena for the hockey team and renovate the Dental Center to bring hockey to Salt Lake City. All on board, they did that. If you check out the previous video, if you haven't seen that yet, link will be down below. But what we're seeing now is we're seeing what they're actually asking for. Have you seen the whole bullet points now? I didn't read the full 7-page application.
I did.
I'm hitting like the main bullet points there. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to read the full 7-page.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Sorry.
I read the whole application.
I read the application.
You know what's crazy? Did you see that on the application that the state was withholding it when the media had requested it? They were withholding it, and then Smith Entertainment Group said, "No, you can release it. It's fine."
Really?
Yeah.
I did not see that part. That's insane. Okay, so I'll just kind of hit my bullet points. And you tell me if I missed anything.
Okay, got it.
Okay. My first is going to be they want a 99-year lease for the block of where the Delta Center currently sits.
Correct.
Okay, so that kind of tells us, okay, this is where we're putting the arena. We're not doing 2 arenas.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I think now originally, if you look back at a previous video, we talked about this when this is all approved. That was kind of up in the air. There's nothing set in stone about them just spending the money to renovate the Delta Center. They were going to potentially build another arena.
Right.
So that was part of it. I think that was part of the sales pitch. They were going to potentially include renovating the Delta Center for the Jazz to kind of encourage the support of this. But we now know that it's going to be just that one building. Now, I do think there's something to that. I don't know if you caught that or not, but it went from the building an extra building to renovating. And I think that's because the SCG group wasn't expecting to pay as much as they had to pay for the team.
Right. 1.2 billion is a little steep.
Yeah. For like a second to last hockey team. So I thought that was kind of a high, I think
actually 6th from last.
And in their conference, they were second to last. Sorry.
6th in the league.
6th in the league. Sure, 6th in the league, second to last in their conference. But anyway, I think that's kind of funny that kind of now all of a sudden, okay, we've spent 1.2 billion. Okay, we're just going to renovate, which brings me back to another point we're going to talk about later. They also want to lease the 2 blocks going east of the arena from Salt Lake County. Now, I don't know. Did you catch? Is that a 99-year lease too on that?
Because I believe that's what they're requesting as a 99-year lease on that as well.
Because I didn't see a time on that one, so
Yeah.
I was going to ask you on that one. So again, the block that the Delta Center is on right now, and the 2 blocks going east of the Delta Center is where they want to lease the land from the county to basically build this new downtown district. They want it walkable. They wanted to lift the caps on building height requirements, so they can put in things like real estate development, additional arenas, which is funny that they put that in there after what we just talked about, and also like heliports. Apparently, that's important. They want to have
be able to put a helicopter right on top of the building, man. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess, going the whole Kobe way, he took helicopters because he hated the traffic in LA to get to Staples Center. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, SEG is going to keeps the money generated from the new sales tax for 30 years. So this is an estimated $54 million per year for the next 30 years that SEG gets to keep on the taxes generated from this.
Except for a 1% administrative fee paid to the city.
Yes.
So 5.4 million goes to the city. 49 million goes to SCG Media for 30 years.
Yeah. So you mentioned this when we talked about the baseball video. You're like, I wonder where that money's going for when the when the big league Utah is leasing it back to the city.
Yeah.
Where's that money going? We now know where the money that the tax review is going to be generating for this is going to be going right into
directly to the developer. I mean, because they're developing it, right?
Yeah.
So they're fronting all the money. That's what it is, right? So pretty much SCG is going to take out all the loans.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put all the construction in. They're going to pay for everything, and then pretty much the 900 million that the city gets from tax revenue, they're going to pay back to SCG Media to offset some of the costs,
right?
Because they're bringing in the revenue,
right? And then you also have the developers get a tax revenue for developing projects on the side as well.
Yep.
So again, not just them, but anybody else who develops something in the project also gets tax revenue as well.
Yep.
So, those are my main key 5 pieces there. And obviously a Bravenel Hall, the Salt Palace Convention Center, maybe remodeled as well. I know the Bravenel Hall has had deferred maintenance for several decades now and was going to be renovated anyway, but this kind of puts that in. But yeah, I don't know. Did I miss anything on there? Is there anything that I missed?
I mean, those are the key points, right? I think it's the interesting thing is to me is lifting the caps on the building heights. Because for years and years, you couldn't build tall buildings downtown.
Yeah.
Right? And now they've got some 25, 26 story buildings going up down there. But could you imagine them putting a 25 or 26 story building next to the Delta Center? Like right in the heart of the downtown?
Yeah, wouldn't that kind of make it difficult to have like a district when you got that big of building blocking kind of the line side of everything?
I don't know if they go that tall, but you got to think if you did put one there, you have every hockey player, basketball player wanting to live right there because they can walk across the street to the arena.
Okay, yeah. So you're thinking like some high end living things, not necessarily like just a hotel or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't see it being hotels. I definitely see it like nicer apartments and that kind of stuff. Flats that go up, and probably not 25 stories. I think that might be a little excessive because you drown out the Delta Center, but
true.
10, 12 stories of apartments can bring in quite a bit of money pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can definitely see on the rendering on those cells where they have Larry Markin on shooting a basketball on the side that's definitely a building that's going above that shot, right? So, it's kind of like, okay, I think they're going to go for that. If this is for the 900 million in tax revenue, I think everything just looks the way it's supposed to look, except for that 54 million in revenue going back to the SCG group. Like they're making money off the team, they're making money off of, the building. But the taxes that are coming back are going back to the team, going back to the owner as well.
Yeah.
Not back to the taxpayer. Like, I don't know about that. That one's kind of.
Well, and the taxpayer gets it back in the new amenities they're providing. That's how all of these schemes go, right?
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
You pay 1% extra, and now you have this beautiful downtown area. It's gonna like invigorate, the market. All of your home values are going to increase. Like people are going to want to move into all of these areas because there's this exquisite market space that's conveniently located downtown.
Right. So I don't know, man. It's definitely the honeymoon period is definitely over when it comes to the whole
Yeah, absolutely.
getting a hockey
Yeah,
team.
because now it's time to make it happen.
Now it's brass tacks here.
They need shovels in the ground. They got to start building.
Yeah. So I thought this was really interesting. Now they also mentioned there that city officials were saying they want to make sure that this is putting a shiny beacon downtown, not a huge scar on the city.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we're doing this right. So because a lot of these sports districts don't turn out well. They turn out to be ghost towns where nobody's renting out the real estate, right?
And I don't know. I guess I oddly have like a lot of faith in Ryan Smith in the way that he usually does things.
Yeah, he hasn't struck out yet, so I'll have to. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But I did want to mention something I did hear on 1280 The Zone on the show they have on the afternoon called Rivals, where one of them mentioned, "Why are we renovating the Delta Center?" And he has a good point on this. When was the Delta Center originally built?
It's like 30 years old.
It's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
It's currently the 4th oldest arena in the NBA right now. And we just renovated, spent like $100-something million on renovating.
$160 million.
Yeah, renovating it just a few years ago. At some times, at some point, we'd spend another $200 or $300 million in our tax revenue for the state to renovate the building again. You got the hockey stadium going, everything's going good. The Jazz are going well, they're competing. I see this, and he brought this up, and I could see it. I could totally agree how this would be eventually a leverage play to ask for more public funding when it's time to rebuild the Delta Center into a different stadium. Like this is just the first ask, like another one's coming for state funding.
I think with as much money as they're getting, I think you could probably update the arena enough that it doesn't need to be redone for another 30 years.
I hope you're right. Because
because you could damn near build a brand new arena for $1 billion.
Yeah, but that's not where they're spending on the money, right? They want the 2 blocks east, So I'm saying, like, I could definitely see that that's a good point. Like, they might be able to leverage the fact that, like, okay, the hockey team's here, they're performing well. The Jazz are now competing in the NBA. Let's see if we can build a new arena and get some more tax funding that way. Get some more money. So it's not unheard of. Definitely happens. I'm just a little cautious on that. Let's make sure that we're clear on this, that we're not saying we're not down Debbie Downers on this. Where I want to say the next question to you is, let's say all this is true. Does this change or affect your opinion at all about the hockey team at all?
Absolutely not. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Getting this team into Utah will change the whole sports landscape of Utah.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, especially the downtown area, everything. Dude, the buzz around this hockey team already is insane. It's going the right direction. I love the support that everyone has for Ryan Smith. Like you said, he hasn't struck out yet.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do it the right way. I think the team will be named correctly. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have so much faith in it. I think maybe I have way too much faith in Ryan Smith accomplishing this the way that it should be done.
Yeah. I mean, it's only how long has he been an owner of the Jazz? 3 or 4 years now?
But he made moves with the Jazz that the previous ownership wasn't going to make.
No, I agree. And honestly, I think that's part of the point there. But
Yeah.
I do want to get in the point there. I do see this as definitely this is the end game move for the SEG group.
Yeah,
this was the end game that they had in mind for when they brought this hockey team in here. Maybe even possibly before they even bought the Jazz. I'm thinking that this is what they were going to do. They wanted to be part of this district downtown. They wanted to get in on this, and this was the opportunity to do so. Just owning the Jazz wasn't good enough. They need to bring another professional sports team here, which is why the hockey team got here. This is what they want to be part of. They want to be part of the real estate development and ownership of a downtown metropolitan area. They want to get in here before the city gets big. I think this was the end game that the SCG group was planning all along, and it just happened to get here a little bit faster than they were expecting.
Yeah, because now it's go time.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that makes sense. I think Ryan Smith has huge visions, and I'm pretty impressed with his ability to make those visions happen in a shorter time frame than they have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, look at the LHM group and pushing Big League Utah.
Yeah,
ain't nothing happening.
No, but that's not really their fault. There's not really a whole lot of expansion.
Doesn't matter.
Teams that need.
There wasn't anything happening in hockey either. Ryan Smith's just like, let's go.
Yeah, I think hockey was more desperate to move the Coyotes, then MLB is desperate to move any other team.
They're going to have the Diamondbacks.
That would be awesome.
Mark my words.
Sorry, PHNX Sports. We're taking all your teams. Sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Our apologies.
Our apologies. But yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's going to be good for Utah. Either way, like I mentioned, there's definitely a lot of, there's definitely optimism there, but let's also keep in mind that there is possibility for some negative stuff to come back on this. Not everything's all sunshine and rainbows. I'm just excited to have the hockey team here. I'm looking forward to covering it. Looking forward to going to some games and really, embracing this new team and this new sport in our state. So looking forward to it for sure.
Absolutely. It's going to be legendary. Make sure you guys tune in. If you are watching on the main channel, make sure we did start a new channel, Utah Hockey DNA. It is available. Click over there, hit subscribe. You guys are going to love the content we're putting out.
And if you're watching that on our Utah Hockey DNA channel, if you're watching that on our Utah Hockey DNA channel, thank you for finding this video on this channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to Major League Baseball, shall we?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, do you need a top off over there?
I'm getting thirsty, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You're over there sipping yours.
I'm doing a lot of talking. Yeah, I think you're gonna need a top off because the next conversation we're gonna have, you probably need to be topped off.
Hook me up.
Okay, so
I'm definitely gonna need it. I just looked at my notes. I'm gonna need more than. Matter of fact,
we're gonna start there. Okay, so I just thought this would be an interesting conversation for us to have as
interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting because I thought, I put this in our notes to talk about this before the series started.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, our teams are playing against each other this weekend. So let's go ahead and cover that a little bit.
Let me just start this by saying this conversation is better for you than it does for me,
which is why I wanted you to be topped off.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, I'm obviously a Dodgers fan, as you can see by everything. And AJ is a Braves fan.
Go Braves.
So we both, our teams, which are considered to be the top two teams, potentially a NLCS series, potentially. Phillies fans might have something to say about that, but kind of like a preview to the NLCS there. And AJ, how did that go, buddy?
Well, let's just say if this was the preview, I'm changing the channel. Okay. If we're watching previews, I'm changing the whole movie.
Yeah. Okay. Just to kind of break it down, the Dodgers did sweep the Braves in this series there in LA. I would like to point out there's two things that people need to realize is that the Dodgers did not have to face their best pitchers. They did avoid Chris Sale.
Yep.
And they also only had to face Charlie Morton, that Hedden guy or whatever his name is.
Yep.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Okay. Basically like your fourth or fifth starter, whoever he is.
Yeah.
But we did have to face, Spencer Strider. He's down.
Yep.
And who was the other pitcher that you guys have there?
Elder was the guy. The second game.
Yeah. Elder was the guy that we faced. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy? The pitcher that we didn't have to face. Spencer Strider, Elder, Charlie Morton, who we did face. But there's your ace. We didn't face your main pitcher. What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we didn't have to face Sale. We didn't have to face your top two starters. So I will give the Braves, that and give the Braves fans that. It did take a walk-off win from Andy Paez to bloop single into center field to walk off that one. But the next two games, man, yeah, that wasn't pretty for you guys there.
I can tell you the problem with this whole series is the way that the first game started, right? Acuna leads off.
Mm-hmm.
He gets on, gets second, and then gets picked off.
Which is great. That was hilarious.
He slips and gets picked off at second.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, Riley gets up and hits a home run.
Yep, my guy. I like Austin Riley. He's my favorite player on the
Braves. But it's like he hits home, and then the Braves lose this game 4-3.
Yeah.
In extra innings.
Yep.
The game doesn't go to extra innings if Acuna doesn't get picked off.
Second base, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think they made a few base running mistakes there.
They did. They had a couple. It was kind of weird to watch, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but for sure, base running coaches need to be a little bit more on point there. So yeah, I don't know, man. The Dodgers did end up sweeping the series. The first game was close, but the next ones weren't so much.
No. No, especially that second game, dude. Glasnow absolutely dominated the Braves, dude.
Yeah, my sister was actually at that game, so shout out to the McKinnon family. They were actually at that game. They got to sit on the top deck right on the bar.
Oh, nice.
They sent me videos of Max Muncy's grand slam. I'm sorry, not his grand slam, his third home run, because he hit 3 home runs that game.
3 in that game.
Yeah,
Jeez,
it was,
dude.
you know, I got to see that like crack and just watch the ball go out, and it was like, dude, epic. Just a great. That would have been a fun game to go to if you're a Dodgers fan for sure.
Well, yeah, Muncy's 3. Shohei hits a solo shot. Like
Teoscar hit 1 too, I think.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there was home runs everywhere. But I mean, and if you're a Dodgers fan, Glasnow has 10 strikeouts through 6 innings.
Yeah,
it was like he was just mowing them down, dude. It was craziness.
So good. He is such a great pitcher, man. I'm so glad we traded for him and that he's healthy this year. Because yeah, man, he's just burning it. I love it. But yeah, it was a tough series as you're a Braves fans for sure. Not the best showing there, but you know we still have to play the Atlanta in the Battery down there in Atlanta. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's talk about the what's really crazy about that whole series, and then going into the series next to that. I believe it was like 11 out of 13 runs the Dodgers scored in that series came off of home runs or something ridiculous like that.
I could believe, dude, it seemed like there was home runs getting all over the damn place.
Yeah, but that's just like only runs, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened to Muncy, dude. All of a sudden, he just explodes, blast 3 out in one game. It was just like every swing, you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, his whiff rate was pretty high this year, but apparently he's turned it around. And how about the starters, man? The starters, obviously Glasnow pitched well, but we also had was it Gavin Stone who went in there and pitched like six innings, only gave up 1 run, and it's really good from a player who's just basically a rookie. Was called up out of the last half of the year.
Yeah,
I've been asking to carry a lot of load,
and he looked really good in that game, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, like the Braves just had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, that changeup, man, it's filthy.
That changeup is filthy, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's got a decent velocity fastball, and then that changeup is just like, I mean, the Braves were just swinging out of their shoes, dude. It was insane.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to that going forward. And we definitely want to see what the Braves do. We're gonna cover the team again when they play in Atlanta. So we'll definitely do that again. But I
go Braves.
That would be fun to kind of cover it a little bit here in that series, and obviously, get your broom out there, Dodgers fans, because that was fun for us. But anyway, so. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to something that's not so bright and cheery. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, Stephen A. Can I ask you a question about Stephen A?
Yes, you can.
What sport does he actually know?
He doesn't know anything.
So, does he just like to shout at cameras?
He is literally just a personality, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we got to blame Skip Bayless for this, right? Like, he started on his show, right?
I don't even know. I don't know where he started or why he started.
Yeah.
And some of Stephen A's stuff I can get behind.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and his podcast is entertaining, but I dislike the comments we're about to discuss.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, this came out. I mean, it just seems like every time we shoot this show, it happens. Like stuff comes out like literally the day after we're done.
Right after we're done.
So this is one of the things that's getting a little older now and long in the tooth here, but I just definitely wanted to marinate on this one and really kind of get a good feeling for what I think on this. But this is basically the statement that Stephen A. Smith made on First Take when it came to the comments on Mike Trout's injury. Now, do you want to break down what he said?
Yeah, I mean, so he goes on. Was it his podcast or was he actually on?
No,
he was on First Take. That's right. Okay. So he said that he was disgusted with his lack of availability, asking how Trout could always, air quotes for you on the podcast, be injured. It's baseball. Half the time, y'all standing out in the outfield, chewing on pumpkin seeds or something. Did I sound like Stephen A. there?
That was great.
Great. You guys are welcome.
Love it.
Yeah, and Trout's defense, I mean, I guess in Stephen A's defense, Trout did only play 82 games last year, right?
Right.
Only played 119 and 22, 36 in 2021. So, I mean, he hasn't played over 140 games since 2016. Right. Still won an MVP in 2019. The fact is it's not that he's wrong. It's the fact that he is making comments about professional athletes and their availability when he's not one. Yeah. That's my issue with this situation.
My issue with these comments is he's making whenever he talks about baseball, he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. A couple of years ago, he said Shohei Ohtani could not be the face of baseball because he can't speak English. He has to speak through an interpreter, so therefore he cannot be the face of baseball.
Absolute idiot.
Which is stupid. How many MLB players needed an interpreter when they were speaking? How long did Yao Ming need an interpreter when he was in the NBA?
Yeah, for years.
This is not new, especially in baseball. Baseball is one of the most diverse sports in professional sports.
Most of these players speak Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish, Japanese, Korean. It's insane. Like the different it's insane.
It's an embarrassment that he would even make a comment like that because it tells you just how out of touch with the sport he actually is.
Yeah, and he's also saying that it's based off of, he's like, it's karma for him staying with the Angels. He's like, you didn't want to go to a winner. You could have left. You signed a massive contract to stay in Anaheim.
Well, yeah, because
This
loyalty is
karma.
so bad.
Yeah.
In baseball these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but I really don't like the comments because he's basically kicking a guy when he's down. You can literally see tears in Trout's eyes when he went down with this injury. He's not happy about it. Half of the games he missed from last season were a fluke due to getting hit in the hand.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. Yeah, he's going to be out for a while, but he will be back. And the Angels weren't actually going to get anywhere anyway this year. So it's not like he's really, it's not like you ruined the Angels' chances of winning this season. But
yeah, I mean, this wasn't going to be their championship season in any way, shape, or form.
The worst part of this whole thing, though, the thing that really bothers me, because did you see who else was on First Take that day?
I didn't.
Mad Dog Russo, High Heat, ESPN's baseball guy. Mad Dog Russo, he's the baseball guy, and he did not stand up for Mike Trout. He was supposed to. He knows baseball. He sat there and he just, laughed. He did not interrupt him. He did not say, "Now, hang on there." Mad Dog.
That's an embarrassment, dude.
Yeah, Mad Dog. I'm sorry. I was all for you when you mentioned that. If this team comes back and wins, I'm going to retire. And they came back and won Miami when they beat who did they beat? Boston in the semifinals last year. He's like, if Miami wins, then I'm going to retire. Is that you or me?
That's mine. Just give me 1 second. I just got to mute it. I didn't realize that my phone was going to get blown up right now for some reason.
Maybe he's way more popular than he realizes, and he doesn't know which button to press to mute his phone. You still didn't do it right. There you go. The vibrate one. There you go. Nope, that one right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that one. Below the vibrate. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm actually come on, Mad Dog. You got to step up for baseball right there. Obviously, he didn't know what he's talking about, and the fact that you just sat there and took it,
especially when you're when you're the local baseball expert, right? Like you're on the show to speak intelligently. Stephen A. is not anything sport expert. Right. The dude is a TV personality that happens to be rooted in sports.
Yeah, yeah.
He's paid for his ridiculous takes on all of these items, but your job as an actual analyst is to say, no, that's not how this actually works. You've never been a professional athlete. You never will be a professional athlete. Yeah. You don't even get to play in the NBA Rising, like in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, dude. You're not even that good.
Well, we got to be careful on that one because we're also not professional athletes and we're commenting on professional athletes all day long. But my point on this one is that he was talking out of his about something he knew absolutely nothing about. And then he said it's karma for staying loyal to the Angels and that he's embarrassed by him for not being available. All these comments, I feel like every time Stephen A. wants to talk about something he doesn't know about, he tries to get the most outlandish take he possibly can just to make sure he's relevant.
Yeah.
I don't think you necessarily have to be a professional sports athlete to talk about professional sports. If so, sorry, guys. I'm sorry I'm wasting your time on the internet.
Well, but I think my point is to talk about players' availability and specifically like to discredit somebody for what they're doing on the thing is you and I never knock on baseball players because they're outside chewing on pumpkin seeds or something.
Yeah, or discrediting the game, saying you guys are standing around most of the time.
Exactly. We're never discrediting players,
right?
Because it's not. You know what I mean? Like
disrespecting the sport too. That's a big point. Yeah, for
sure. We're never disrespecting the sport in any way, shape, or form, and that's exactly what Stephen A. did, and that's my issue with it.
Yeah, whenever we talk WNBA, except for this recent time, I've always talked about how I've not found the league entertaining.
Yeah,
and I never disrespected the sport.
You never said they're not. Well. I don't know. You have said they're not as good as athletes.
No, I didn't say they wasn't. I didn't say they weren't good athletes. I did say that they just
check the cut. There's a video on YouTube about this.
Yeah, I just said they weren't. I just said they weren't. It was not an entertaining game to watch.
Okay, yeah, that's
not entertaining basketball to watch. Over the last 2 years, it's been very entertaining to watch. So absolutely, I am watching
top to bottom.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see how this goes forward. The new guard is coming in. I just really hope the WNBA doesn't screw it up because the old hats and the current stars, can't seem to realize that the person who's going to do what they couldn't do for the last 20 years is doing it, and she hasn't even played in a regular game yet. You gotta she raises all ships, man. You're an old hat who made $30,000 a year. You're going to be pulled up on First Take. You're going to be asked to do interviews. You're going to be asked to be doing this and talking about the WA. And all
are you ready?
You're going to have opportunities. She is your payday too.
Yep.
So stop bagging on her, But anyway, that's a different story for different times. Stephen A. I think what he said was completely out of line. I don't expect him to apologize for it because I don't think anybody should apologize for what they say when it's based off their opinion. But still, I think that what he said was completely out of context, and yeah, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Let you know what do you think about Mike Trout's injury, what Stephen A said, what Mad Dog Russo should have said. Should he just sat there on his hands? We want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below for sure. Let's go ahead and pivot on over. Now, we did talk about this a little bit with Stephen A about what his comments on Ohtani. And, it's not a week on our show when we talk about baseball if we're not talking about Shohei Ohtani.
It's not.
So let's go ahead and talk about Shohei Ohtani.
Let's do it.
It's the only way we get views on this channel.
Yeah. And thanks for tuning in to Shohei Ohtani content.
Absolutely. So, this has been, I saw a crazy stat. So before this whole series started with the Florida Marlins, his last 13 at bats, he has 11 hits.
It's because he was playing the Braves and smoking them.
Yeah, 11 hits, like 2 home runs, that's just like the stats were just insane. He had 11 hits out of 13 at bats, which is just unheard of. So it was just insane. And there's a lot of, and obviously he's creeping up the rank for MVP. He'd be the first time that a DH won in the MVP role in Major League Baseball history. But him and Mookie are 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 1 for Mookie, 2 for Shohei. Yeah, Shohei was my pick for the MVP. So we'll see if I actually.
I think Mookie's defense is going to get him there versus
I think you're right.
Shohei not being on the field at that point.
Yeah, but he has a huge WAR for a DH. Right now.
It's insane. And his bat has been so ridiculously effective, dude. So he's like a for sure on base.
Yeah. So with that all said, which is really funny because we could go back to the whole, is the Ipe thing affecting him at the beginning of the season? And you could clearly say yes.
I think so.
But now it's all up behind him. By the way, we got to do an update on the Ipe. Did you hear about Ipe? He's accepted a plea guilty for money laundering and theft of $17 million.
Yeah. And also like it came out like where he was routing the money through. It was some Real Housewives stars or something.
Yeah. So what he was doing is he was running it through an illegal gambling bookie, who then got transferred into chips, and they would cash the chips in underneath the name of the bookie. And somehow that money got through. Yeah, you mentioned
it was a whole scheme.
Like it was impressive.
Yeah,
they were getting through this.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand how this illegal betting ring that's pulling in tens of millions of dollars is somehow making this all happen. I'm like, how the heck are they doing it? It was crazy. But apparently he's set to plead guilty on 2 counts, one of manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Holy cow, dude. This story just fucking took a turn. He's fucking guilty on manslaughter too.
Yeah.
We do need to do a whole nother story on this.
But he's been found guilty. He's planning on pleading guilty to money laundering and theft of $17 million from Shohei Ohtani. And he's expected to plead guilty, fine of over $1.7 million and also up to 30 years in jail.
Just for you listening on the podcast, because this is not going to make the final cut on any of the videos, but we do mess up what we say.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. On the podcast, you're definitely going to hear this.
Yeah, and on the podcast, just know if you want to hear like an actual like streamed version of any of these, it is available on YouTube, and we actually do get to the point in those videos.
We do get to the point. Are you saying I'm not getting to the point here?
No, we do. You know what I mean? No, but I'm just saying, like, there's a whole lot more banter in the podcast, and they're actually like our YouTube videos are
pretty structured.
Yeah, they're structured so that you can get to the point. You can get through a 6 or 7 minute video, and it's on topic.
Yeah.
If you're listening to a podcast, you're listening for the banter and the back and forth and all the shit we mess up. So
yeah, we get on so many tangents on this show. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Appreciate everybody for having the patience to watch us. All 880 of you guys.
Yep. Keep liking it. We appreciate every bit of it.
Absolutely. But let's go ahead and get back to it. So Ohtani's doing insane. He's easily the best hitter in baseball, although Zuna did just pass Ohtani for the most home runs. He hit 12.
Oh, geez.
So he's but yeah, I want to talk about Ozuna here in a minute. But anyway, so the biggest story that's made out in the national media right now is, should the Dodgers consider moving Shohei Ohtani to either, I think the first one was, should he permanently be a DH role with how good he's doing baseball, hitting wise, solely focusing on batting right now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, isn't he always going to be a DH? Like, does he not DH in every single game? Like, was that not his role with the Angels last year? Did not DH in any games he wasn't pitching in?
He did DH in any games he weren't pitching in. Yeah.
But if he was pitching, he didn't DH. Is he not able to DH in games he pitches in?
There is a new Ohtani rule where now he can if he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah, he basically changed the rules of baseball already. So yeah, there's a new rule saying that if he's the starter, he can also hit as the DH.
Okay. Then yeah, absolutely.
What they mean is just give up pitching
Oh, just give up pitching, period? No.
and just be a DH. With how good he easily is going to be right now, the way he's playing right now, his batting average is the highest batting average in the league. His WAR is the highest for just a DH. He was leading the home runs just as of yesterday. This guy is dominating as a hitter.
I think it tells you that he's obviously getting way more reps hitting. You know what I mean? So he's just dialed in. It's his singular focus. Obviously, he doesn't have to worry about doing any pitching, any throwing, any reps of that. He's hitting.
Rehabbing. He still is rehabbing.
Well, absolutely. But I'm saying, like, this season, you can see his hitting is improving because he's singularly focused on hitting the baseball. That's true.
What I mean? And also, he's got players in front of him that are getting on base.
So it helps so much. Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going to walk Shohei because you've got Freddie Freeman behind him.
Yeah.
And then Max Muncy behind him.
Dude, Freddie Freeman hit the shit out of the ball against the Braves, dude.
And then you got Teoscar Hernandez.
That home run that he hit, dude.
Yeah.
It was like an effortless swing. It was like, I mean, it didn't even look like, and obviously Major League Baseball players can effortlessly swing and hit the ball out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, it was like low and inside, and he just poked it 20 feet into the stand. You're just like, geez, Freddie.
Yeah. And
he's never easy, man.
He's never trying to hit a home run either. He's trying to hit the gap, the left center field gap. He's trying to put it right there.
Yeah.
If he gets all of it, he goes over.
And he just got a hold of it.
Yeah. It's crazy. How much better, how many more home runs would he hit if he was a pull hitter?
Yeah.
And he just does it. That's just not his style. He's a longtime Brave, probably going in the Hall as a Brave.
Yeah.
But he's always done that. He's always just tried to get on base and hit doubles. That's his goal, not to really hit it on the fence, which is great. But yeah, I don't know. I think just the DH role, I agree with you. I don't think he should switch to DH.
I think that anybody that's even thinking that has already forgotten how fantastic of a pitcher Shohei Ohtani is.
Here's the other thing. What about because officially moving him to a position player like Babe Ruth, where he plays right field?
Yeah, I mean,
you still get to use that cannon of an arm in right field.
You'd probably prolong his career,
right?
You know what I mean, and his fantastic hitting.
Yeah.
But I think Shohei likes being on the mound.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's every kid growing up's dream is to be a major league pitcher.
Yeah.
And maybe on the tail end, if he starts losing velocity and stuff, I could see him creeping out there because his bat's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Most players that are that good of hitters don't become worse hitters throughout their career. And when you have the opportunity to zone in and really, like I said, focus on hitting the baseball, you can continue being successful doing that.
Yeah, I agree. My prediction is what's going to happen is he is going to pitch and hit for the next 3 years. And then that procedure that he had, that brace procedure that he had for his Tommy John, he's then going to transfer either to the outfield or to a different position, probably an outfield position, probably right field. And then from there, maybe once Freddie Freeman's contract is up, move to first base for the rest of his contract. I think that's what's going to happen. Then the last couple of years, he's going to be a DH only. I think that's going to be the plan for Shohei Ohtani going forward.
Yeah, because he's not super young. He's what, 26?
No, he's older than that. I think he's like 30.
Oh, he's 30. Okay,
he turns 31 this year.
Okay, yeah. So
he's built like a brick house.
Yeah, tail end of his career. Then I mean, once you're into your 40s, you're not going to be trying to be throwing.
Yeah, I think he's like 30. I mean, Charlie Morton's like my age, and he's still pitching.
Morton's old,
but I still got it at like mid 90s. But I think what's going to happen is that he's going to probably pitch for another 2 or 3 years, and then from there on, he's going to just be a hitter and position player. I think he's got another 5 years as a position player. Then after,
I guess that's true. I could see that happening for sure.
That's kind of what I think is going to happen. But anyway, we want to hear what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think of Shohei Ohtani's, explosion as a DH and being the best hitter in baseball right now? Let us know what you think. Do you think it's worth discussing potentially moving him permanently to DH or moving him to position player with how well he's doing? I mean, we do forget that he is a Cy Young candidate when he is pitching.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we want to hear from you, folks. Let us know in the comments down below for sure. Let's go ahead and move on over to let's talk some more somber news about injuries. We talk a lot about injuries today. When it comes to baseball, let's talk about Wilson Contreras. Did you see this? What went down for Wilson?
This is absolutely crazy, dude.
Yeah. Okay. I really want to get your take on this because you play softball.
I do,
and you have a player on your team that is notorious on your baseball team, notorious for this kind of shit. So I definitely want to get your take on this. But so Wilson Contreras, do you want to break down what happened?
Yeah. So we'll roll some footage over it for you guys if this does make YouTube. But I mean, you can see he's moved way up in the box. He's close behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to make sure that he can get lower strikes and field them cleanly.
Mhm.
So he's moved way up. He's way closer to the plate. He goes for a pitch. JD Martinez swings and hits his catching arm, his left forearm, during his swing around. I mean, you can see he's in pain. He yells out immediately,
Right.
clearly broken his arm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost tough to watch, right? Like you see
Yeah.
somebody get their like the speed these bats are moving to catch that to the arm is just absolutely brutal. It comes out, it's obviously fractured. They put him on the 30-day DH, and he's obviously going to be on there longer than that. So.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured arm for sure.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is that Wilson Contreras was the best hitter for the Cardinals right now, who have a slumping offense right now. So that's just for a team that's underperforming on offense. That's really sad to see.
Yeah, brutal.
You definitely don't want to see that. But I don't know. What's your take on this? Like, how did this happen? Where's the problem? Is it just that Wilson Contreras was too close?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and I think this is a huge coaching error, dude, because I think the coaches had instructed him to move up closer to avoid digging balls out of the dirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they just had him moved up too close. I mean, I think they were probably trying to throw some short zone strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, part of their method.
Try to catch that low strike.
Yeah, to catch the low strike so that he can get him up and frame him, or potentially not take balls out of the dirt. Like, I think you've just got to be better, right? Like,
a lot of people are trying to blame JD Martinez for this one.
I don't think this is JD Martinez is set up in the box where he is, but the fact is if he's in the back end of the box, right? If he's on the back side, you have to adjust to that as a catcher, right? You have to be conscious of, okay, this guy's a step back from where maybe most hitters are hitting or whatever. You have to adjust yourself to that. And if you've got a pitcher throwing short strikes, maybe you adjust your position or the way that you're standing so that you're more prepared to dig balls out of the dirt, or lay your body down on top of whatever you got to do. But you definitely don't continue to stay where you're at with a pitcher or with a hitter in the backside of the box, knowing there's a potential to get hit by a bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that I think the key piece to this is going to be the fact that this swing was on the downswing.
Yeah.
Right. Like this isn't where the batter swung out and then he hit him behind. Right.
Yeah.
Like Mizuna.
Exactly.
Mizuna. This guy is notorious for hitting catchers in the head on the backswing and basically causing concussions.
Yeah.
That is 100% controllable. For that reason alone, I think, Marcell Ozuna needs to fix that. Like, yeah, that's the Braves. The Braves need to talk to him and change, like, it's his natural swing. You can control the backswing if whether or not you're hitting a catcher in the head.
Yeah.
That's completely different. But in this case, it's the downswing, right? So he's swinging down, which tells me that he catches his arm. So now, JD Martinez in Wilson Contreras' defense, his back foot is on the line in the box, up close, crowding the plate, on the line, getting close to the plate. So he's swinging down. There's no way he's not going to hit, a catcher who's trying to catch that low strike.
And especially because if you're trying to catch a low strike, you're moving your arm forward to catch the ball closer to the plate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, if you've got a breaking pitch that's breaking, earlier or later in the zone, your arm is going to be forward. And that's exactly what you see happen.
Yeah.
Right. He's moving his arm forward, and as he's coming around, he's bam, right in his arm.
So Foul Territory has 2 MLB catchers on their channel. And they really discuss this. And I really like that because their opinions matter because they're actually MLB catchers and they understand this. And I kind of agree with them here. The thing that was different about this is that Wilson Contreras, if you're calling the game back there, what they like, where their hot zones are, which pitches they're going to swing at, the personnel, who you're betting against.
Yeah.
JD Martinez is going to be standing back for that extra half second. He's got the bat speed to wait a little bit longer on the pitch. You saw where he stepped in. It would take no time to look and see, wow, he is right on me. And we'll show some video on the screen there about how close they were. But yeah, dude, he's lucky he didn't get hit in the head on that back.
Yeah,
on that swing.
To take it in the arm, he's, like you said, he's probably lucky.
Yeah, because that could have downswing the amount of force. Like on the backswing, but your swing's dying out back here.
Yeah,
the down force coming right on that arm, as you can see, it fractured immediately. It's bad. It's sad. You don't want to blame anybody, but obviously when it comes down to this, I don't think it's JD Martinez's fault. It's just unfortunately Wilson Contreras didn't, CYP know his personnel. Sorry, KYP, know your personnel. Matt Harpering reference. Did you catch that? But I just think he's way too close for the batter that was up to plate. He needed to see that and back up, or make a comment saying, "Hey, his foot's on the line." Whatever, do that. I think that's really where the problem is. Should there be any big fines or should anybody get suspensions? I don't think so. I think this is just as unfortunate accident of people just, that whole mess of a scenario.
Yep, absolutely.
We want to know what you think, folks. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below when it comes to this story about Wilson Contreras and his fractured arm. Are you a Cardinals fan? Do you disagree with us? Do you think, JD Martinez shouldn't be that far in the box? Whatever your take is on that, we want to hear from you down there. Let's go ahead and wrap today's show up with a little bit of an MLB Network guy jinxing a pitcher. Did you hear this story?
Oh man, this is actually quite legendary.
Yeah, I think this is hilarious. We talked about this. This is really funny because actually this came up on the sports page on KSL, which is a local publication here in Utah. You don't really see a whole lot of Major League Baseball stuff on our local.
No, because we don't have an MLB team yet.
That's the key things there. Get on it, Miller Group. Come on, Big League Utah. Seriously, bring the Diamondbacks up here.
We're ready.
Let's do it. But anyway, so let's go ahead and talk. We want to break down the story there.
Yep, absolutely. So, Greg Assigner, one of the MLB
Network,
MLB Network guys, just out. He's just calling the pre-game, right? And Yamamoto's up there pitching, and he goes off and says, "I'd like to say that we are already on no-hitter alert." This is pre-game, right? He doesn't throw in one pitch yet. We're in pre-game announcement. He says, we are in no-hitter alert. They even put the graphic up on the screen and everything. No-hitter alert. We'll put it up on the screen for you guys if it does make YouTube. But first pitch, Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm.
Chisholm?
Jazz Chisholm, yeah.
Sorry. Jazz Chisholm. And this guy's been swinging for the fences notoriously for the last couple of games, right? Dude's been swinging hard.
Let's before we talk about that, let's talk about why he was calling it a no-hitter. Yamamoto has just been dumb ever since you take that Korean series out. He's got a sub-2 ERA. He's been mowing people down. He pitched into the 8th inning last game.
Yeah.
He's been dominating. He's been doing very, very well recently. Highest paid pitcher in baseball. So, he wanted to show out for it. And they're playing against the Florida Marlins, who just traded with their best
struggled.
players. Yeah. The Dodgers just swept them. They're not known as being a good team, right?
Yeah.
The A's would make this team look ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
So that's why he's calling a no-hitter alert before the game started.
Combination of things.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But go ahead. What happened in the game? When the game actually started, what happened?
But absolutely. First pitch of the game, fastball, middle. And Jazz Chisholm proceeds to jack this thing straight directly out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a home run.
First pitch. So much for the no-hitter.
Yeah, so much for the no-hitter. Okay, so for those of you who don't follow baseball, which, by the way, if you're watching this, you don't follow baseball, wow, dude, you are awesome.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Thank you.
You don't jinx the no-hitter.
Ever. You don't jinx a no-hitter at any point in any game. If anybody is even on track to throw a no-hitter, you don't even mention it.
You don't say no-hitter.
You don't begin to bring up the words. You don't even think no-hitter.
The broadcaster says he has 7 no-hit innings so far. That's as far as they take it.
Yep.
You do not say no-hitter.
Yep, we're watching a no-hitter. I'm calling a no-hitter. This is going to be... You don't say anything like that ever.
No. Like, it's not like basketball where you're like, oh, Kobe's going to go off for 60 tonight,
Yeah.
Or, you don't... That kind of stuff, that's fine. You don't call a no-hitter.
No.
Or you don't say no-hitter when they have one, because it's just an immediately jinx, and it's the broadcaster's jinx is real in this case. We would never know. This is the no-hitter that could have been, but we may never know.
Yep.
And it's all because the MLB Network. The fact that the graphic was ready to go. Yeah. The fact the graphic was ready to go made me think that this was something they planned on.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, almost like it was scripted at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Or even like after the first inning, and he was just like, screw it. I'll just jump into my notes real quick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, the Dodgers still won the game. Yamamoto still had a great start, but
yeah, he goes on to pitch 8 innings. I mean, he only gives up 5 hits, strikes out 5, doesn't have any walks. That's a great game.
1-1 ball, great start.
Yeah. But
seriously.
But it wasn't a no-hitter.
It wasn't a no-hitter.
For the record.
Thanks, Craig. Really appreciate it. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below about this story or anything we talked about in regards to Major League Baseball. If you like what we talked about in this subject, we'll have a link to a subject of, top. Let me re-say that again. That did not come out right.
No, not at all.
All right, folks. Thanks again for watching this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. If you liked what we talked about in this segment, there'll be a link to the playlist that talks about what we talked about in this segment right here. Again, folks, we're on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right in the middle. We're going to give away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio. And this is available on YouTube in the playlist. Should be a link to that right here.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.